a little bit later today about the astrology report as a planet. But that's what it is. It's about to look, to see, to react on a certain things that are beyond your control, right? So I want to say thank you guys for coming in, clicks, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. The channel is improving with you guys. I see a lot of good comments that it's coming. And I see how the astrology helping to people. I had somebody came in today for a checkup, and we look at it through the astrology, and it was very interesting reflections of this collective's energy over to the personality in there. So I'll look at it right now, this full moon that we have today, as you're going to be watching it in there. AS1000, welcome back here. Glad to see you in the chat. If you have any questions, you can call or can message, And the call, it's going to be right now, it's your emotional personality, because you're building that personality at Leo. Since the moon is going to be there, what are you building? Your emotions, your intuition, and that personality. But you have to face it off the authority of the sun that it's right now at Aquarius. In a way, this is going to be some very kind of like a proper build-up conflict, okay? But you may gonna figure it out that these portions of how did you build up yourself emotionally at Leo, or what do you have Leo, or whatever the Leo is following it in your chart, is reflecting on this. And since the collective energy of the full moon, it's gonna be there, it's gonna be pointing out. So if you have anything that is these two zodiac signs particularly, you are going to be doing a very interesting maturity, okay? Because here it's you facing off the spirit with what you taught into the material world. So with the moon that is right now at Leo, we are going to be seeing at the triggers. The first trigger is that the moon is going to passing through the trigger with Pluto, then it's going to be going with Mars, then it's going to be going with the sun. And we're going to see this full moon that it's already start building it up, this energy, and tomorrow we are going to be facing Venus and Mercury. So you're going to be going through the process of really evaluating your emotions, how they were built up. And that is going to be depending of in your chart where is your moon is. If your moon is in Aquarius, like these guys talking to you, okay, yeah, things are going to be very kind of like interesting. I had a little headaches today too, and I was looking, what is this? And I saw one, I'm like, come on, Leo, you already know this stuff. The moon is going to be opposing your moon. You're going to have some of these emotional situations because your emotions are spiritual. They're in Aquarius. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. So how the day is going to beginning with all this energy, we're going to see at the 7 o'clock that the moon is going to be at the 7th house, relationships. And here is how this energy is going to comes in and start affecting. And we want to be focused like how I am into the relationships, what I did in there into the relationships. But since this is the moon, which is also represents the mother, how did you learn the relationship from who? What did you inherit in the relationships in there? So the inner work is going to be at Scorpio, and with Saturn and Neptune, they are together. Either though that Neptune, it's more feminine energy, he is in Aries in the masculine sign, while Saturn is a masculine energy planet, but it's in the feminine side of Pisces. We are going to see some this good way to resolve this feminine masculine disbalance. And with this energy, there is going to be a collective, and particularly since the moon is going to be at the beginning of Leo, right? Because it is trining all this, the development of personality is going to come in, is going to beginning to trigger. Did I develop myself properly and my emotional state as a being? Okay, so this is going to be some the main challenge in there. Hi, Namira, glad to see you too. If you have any questions in there, please post them in the chat. Jik Hai Hoser, I believe. I cannot pronounce the whole name, but thank you for coming to the chat. Hello to you too. So, 8 o'clock, the sun is going to be going over the event horizon. And now with the ascendant be in there within Aquarius, we're going to see how this spiritual new evolution is like, I need to change. I need to evolve. I need to get into this and so on that situations. So with this energy, we're going to have the ascendant that's going to be at Aquarius together with Venus and Mercury. That's got at this 150 degrees spiritual advanced energy is going to Jupiter. It's like, see these evaluations in there. Hoser, I'm originally Bulgarian, but when the people ask me where I'm from, I spent a lot of years in Bulgaria, a lot of years in the United States, but currently I live in Spain. If you're wondering what this is, I rebuilt a very beautiful Spanish house here in Spain. Very beautiful place, and been working on it to establish like a very beautiful environment here. But the environment itself here, it's incredible because the energy of the inner peace and the soul is very powerful here at the town where I live. Okay, everything has its purpose in there. But thank you for asking. All right, 9 o'clock. The energy at 9 o'clock is going to beginning this intensified energies with Saturn. This is going to be more about this wounded masculine, this masculine energies of Saturn, who is the teacher. And when the teacher comes in to teach, but he has to go through its own wounds. Okay. So we may gonna see some this energy of understanding the feminine energies in there, but through the masculine perspective. And here is like whatever the masculine has a perspective about the feminine energy. Is a beautiful, is a great, we're gonna work, operate, and so on. But when it faces toxic feminine energy, that it's totally opposite, he's got some issues. It's the same thing we're gonna see with the visions from Neptune. Neptune is the feminine energies into new masculine's way, right? So we're gonna figure it out, this wounded feminine and masculine's energies in a total balanced different way. So this is a very beautiful energy because those two, when they start coming in together and so on, they are gonna be coming in a very beautiful, beautiful way and so on with this, okay? Shall I know which topic we are talking about? If you are looking at it, it's an astrogravitational report for February 1st. Okay, that's what this is. I'm talking about that. It's not about spiritual talks. It is explaining the energy through philosophy, through a psychology, and through a spirituality that come and affects on us. All right. Keeping it going, the ascendant is going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning with Chiron. We already talked about the Chiron. This is going to be a very good moment to see the values, to see the communications, to see where the love is. And if it's something it's not right, okay, you take those energies, you purge them out. So you can be able to stop acting in a base of your wounds, keep helping people that never ask you for help, keep wounding yourself because you want to learn things. It is about you to become the healer of self. And that's what is the purpose of the wounded healer in there, okay? That what is, and so on. Another thing that it's going to be is about the work. The work that you're going to do is going to be paying off about the future destiny that comes forward within. All right. 11 o'clock, the material situations. You're going to be focused on the material situations. Very interesting because those material situations, they are right now reevaluating through Uranus being in a retrograde. Okay. And Uranus, when it's retrograde, it's like go back in there and demolish this and rebuild it. This is rebuilding time. Okay. Uranus retrogrades in Taurus, rebuilding things in the material world, rebuilding house, rebuilding material stability, rebuilding the base, finding a new job, moving to a new place, get out of the place where you are. All this sudden changes, because Uranus is the sudden changes. Okay? But they are going to be putting into a place that you are going to be set for what? For your evolutionary process. So the next hour, this is going to be a time when we're going to start feeling it, that energies of the moon. Be kind of like careful with that energy, because the inner work is going to be with Mars, Pluto, midheaven, and the sun. So basically, this energy is going to be start affecting so much. We're going to see the moon here. It's going to be at the third house about the friendshipness, but we see these beautiful red lights, right? Warning, warning, warning. You're going to see those warnings. They're going to be start coming in, particularly that we are going to see that the ascendant that is in the Gemini, it is going to be what? Squaring the North Node. That is going to be the moment when you're like, oh, I don't like those changes. I don't know. I don't want any. It is not. It's not my vision. Here is this ego, which is this emotional intelligence that you're building into the Leo, which is you want to be a what? Dominating. That's what it is. It's domination. Your personality dominations, it's facing off what? The spiritual authority of Aquarius. And now you're like, no, I want it. And guess what? Who is going to win? Whoever you put the power to it. And that's what this full moon, this facing off, is going to be a lot of internal battle within. All right, 1 o'clock, we are going to still have the inner work that's going to be at Aquarius. Very beautiful, because this is going to be some of the time that you're going to be really focusing on this wounded healer. Okay? Stop working, stop dealing with people who are already wounded so much, and they just come for a help, and where you need a help, they're not there, right? When they comes in just to take things, get things inside of it. And now you're going to be working within yourself, because this energy in there is going to beginning to work within you to heal you. For some of you is going to be working that energy, if that is coming from a karmic relation standpoint. You may going to find some family karma attached, like for example, son, father, grandfather. You're going to see some energies in there, because all the wounded in there, they're right there. They're passed through the generations. It's the same thing applies in a feminine side. Okay? Let's say, for example, you, mother, grandmother. But imagine you having a kids in itself, you're going to be seeing that energies that right now, whatever happens to your children, but actually what happened is repeatable patterns through the grandmother. So it's very interesting to figure it out, all those, but it's a lot of what? A lot of emotional work, right? So this emotional work at 2 o'clock is going to be coming in, is going to tell you, oh, it's going to be worth it for the future, because the inner work is going to be exactly with the North Node. It's like, okay, I see the points. I see that whatever I'm going to be doing, whatever these problems are coming in, they're coming in to help me to establish a better path towards my future. When you understanding this, you understand that whatever you are facing right now, it helps you at that moment. Okay? It has to be doing a lot with the feminine energies, because Pisces is a feminine zodiac sign. But that is a one of the feminine side is like putting all these dualities together. Okay? And through that dualities together is like sudden realizations they are coming in. Okay? But those sudden realizations, they are coming from what? From Uranus being retrograde. That is sextiling Saturn and Neptune. Okay? Don't worry about what's going on in the material world. Okay? Because it's right now, the material world, it's readjusting. Okay? For some of you, this is going to be like a justice time. If you were doing wrong things, it's a justice time. For some of you, that you had things that you got, so on and so on. Now it's adjustment times for the better. So it's going to be very interesting about this internal situations. All right, 3 o'clock, we're going to see the inner work with Saturn. There, a lot of that learning, a lot of that energies between masculine and feminine. The masculine, they're going to be working on their wounded feminine energies, while the masculine, one of the feminines, they're going to working on their wounded masculine energy. So this is going to be some very, very kind of like psyche issues in there. At the end, that's where it comes from. That's kind of it's going to go to it. And when a Saturn entering Aries, we are going to see some incredible shift of this. The collective energy is going to be here, but are you going to be ready for this collective energy? Saturn is going to be what? Asking us about it, okay? All right, 4 o'clock. Here is the situations that you like it or don't like it. They're coming towards you. You may gonna have some uncomfortable talks. You may gonna have some actions. That is, you gotta be very careful because of these moments. All these spiritual soul planets in there, they're gonna be at the 7th house in Aquarius. Okay. And now, since this energy of the ascendant is going to be at the beginning of Leo, and it's opposing all those planets in Aquarius, you're going to see that wherever you taught, whatever you need, wherever you put, develop that emotional things, you are facing off the missing part of the evolutions that it comes in with the age of Aquarius. And here it's going to be the test. Can you give that power of the sun? Can you give that power of Pluto? Can you give that power of these personal things that it was the beginning in there when we had the new moon and everything begins to crossing to the new path? You're going to be facing off the last 2 weeks. Whatever you did the last 2 weeks, now you're going to be what? Facing off. But you're also going to be facing off what? Something that you may not going to be paying too much attention, but you are facing off what happened last year. So what happened last year? This is what happened the last year. Now the Venus and Neptune and the North Node, they were together, right? You're facing that energies. Okay? Have you done the work right? Okay? Have you done the work right? Because this year, right now, as we are seeing it in there, oops, sorry, I did. There we go. That's more like it. Here is the same place. Okay? But now we have all the guys that are coming here and they are coming to support. Okay? So with those energies that we are going to be seeing personally right now, here is did you learn the proper ways? And with that learning of the proper ways, you have a lot of things. One thing is the shadow, and the other way is the inner work that you did on yourself. How does a deer knows that? Here's the energy of the ascendant of the moon, right? So here is the challenge. There you go. You challenge everything. I mean, whatever you develop emotionally within you, you're challenging everything that is about the spiritual evolution. Your actions based out of soul, your authority based out of the soul, your love and values based out of the soul, and the communications in there, right? But in order this to work, either you have to go through the shadow, through Leo, to Lilith, I'm sorry, and coming here, or you have to do through the inner work that has been done. And that's what that revaluations is going to be coming in so strong. And you're going to know, did you pass it or you don't pass the test? You're going to know in about a few days. All right. And here is 5 o'clock as the moon goes above the horizon and the sun goes below the horizon. Who got the power? The moon. The moon is right now rising in the event horizon. Now this emotional power, it's greater in there. But also this time the moon, it's getting divine energies with the North Node. And here is the part of the soul, the spirit, when you start doing something that is wrong, there is this little voice in there that comes in. It's like, don't do it, don't do it. It's not right, don't do it. But you don't listen to it, right? Here it's the emotional intelligence that it builds up. It's going to be practiced. Can you hear that little voice of the spirit? And this is going to be the test time. Okay? This is going to be really test a lot of people. Well, if you pass the test, it's going to go through the shadow. It's going to be like, okay, oh my God, thank you. I didn't mess the mess. I didn't put my own needs, my own self, my own, for me, the attention seeking and everything. Me. You put overcoming your shadow. And it's like, I have to be able to redevelop myself, my own authority. Because the authority and the intuitions, they're working together. All right? And now the authority of the soul and the spirit, it is at high point. Okay? So this is going to be lots of learning, particularly people who, you may gonna have like a guilty tripping and so on, triggers with those energies in there, but it's gonna be a very proper way, okay? But the people who's gonna be passing the test, they will have to go through Lilith. They're gonna go to recognizing patterns within the shadow, things that were hidden. All of a sudden, maybe from your subconscious pattern is gonna comes in, I have this problem because there was a similar problem of my father, my grandfather, of my mom, of my grandmother. So now you're beginning to understand it, that you are for this purpose to understand it, resolve it, and build it in a totally new, different way. Because your destiny right now, it's calling you. Change it. And when you change it, you're going to be finding the things. But the change is hidden into the shadow. Okay? All right. Keeping it going. 8 o'clock in the afternoon. The ascendant is going to be at Virgo. Very beautiful. We talk about these yachts in there that it's coming. Now this yacht is going to come in and talk to you. They're going to point you out. Can you be able to resolve this? The apex of that is going to be the sun. It's going to be that energy of the sun. Currently, the moon, it's at 11 degrees and the sun is at 12. You're going to start feeling it, this power of the moon overcoming the power of the sun. Because the sun right now, it's below the event of horizon. Guess what that's talking about? This is one of the parents trying to force things over their kids. Okay, because right now we're going to have the moon there. It's at the 11th house, but we have the authority in the 5th house, the kids. And you may going to find this pattern as we are talking about in you. Don't do it. Don't repeat it in there. Okay, because that energies through the shadow is going to be able to really overcome. But also the inner work that is in Gemini is going to come in and is going to be a very, very helpful. Are you friendly? Are you doing from a spiritual freedom and this friendliness in the spirit instead of ordering, demanding, and be so radical. Like, has to be that way. Okay. All right. 9 o'clock, we're going to see some the challenges of because the ascendant at Virgo is going to be opposing Saturn and Neptune. How did you organize yourself? So if you build yourself wrong because of whatever reasons, it could be religious, ethics, patterns, culture, lifetime, generational, however is in your case, okay? Now that energy is like, you need to do reconfigurations, okay? You need to do reconfigurations. The ascendant is going to be a very beautiful energies with Pluto, very beautiful energies with Uranus, and this is going to be some the time of realizations, the issues, but that's going to be pointing the problems in there of like, okay, well, how can I organize my understanding for feminine and for masculine's energies, Gio? You need to look inside of you, okay? Because this facing off those energies at this time, I'm talking about the ascendant in Virgo. It is opposing Saturn, vertex into Neptune right here, and we have the inner works that is in Gemini. It's about to overcome the dualities, okay? So this is the moment when you're realizing that you may have if you're masculine, okay, you're a man, you're born physically man, you have these wounds from the feminines because those feminines could not know how to love themselves. So they never loved you. So they harmed your feminine energy within yourself, okay? If you're feminine, all right, you focus on that energies of the masculine. You present it like he needs to be the protector, he needs to be the romantic, he needs to be, providing, but at the same time, he needs to be also understandable for my own needs, right? And now you're facing off a masculine who also only wants is like, I want you in my bed, I want you to cook and to clean, and I'm not worried about your emotional state. So you're wounded, all right? So you need to understand that the wounds that comes in just so they can build you better, okay? And now when you understand this deep patterns of the subconscious that comes in with the power of the sun, okay? That it's coming in, you're going to be looking through your childhood, but you're going to be able to what? Reorganize yourself, okay? Reorganize yourself because the ascendant is in a very beautiful time with who? With Uranus, okay? And he's very beautiful trying with Pluto. Transformations is in order for those who, what? Pass the test. And 10 o'clock, the ascendant is going to be at Libra, balance. Yes, there's going to be a yacht towards the North Node. If you develop yourself proper with proper emotions in there, if you have whatever you have in Leo, okay? If you're built right, you're going to be able to do a job. If you build wrong, or whatever you build it from within yourself, pay attention to your 50th year of your life, and there you are going to be have these challenges. But that energy is between Leo and Libra. They are pointing towards what? Pisces. The ending. Because wherever you build as that self, it's going to be applied into where? To the relationships with others. You don't know how to be having a relationship with yourself because that's what you do at Leo. You build yourself in all the areas. If you have a Venus in there, you build up your understanding about love and values. If you have a Mercury, it's you understanding how to talk with others and so on in there. Right? So it depends what you have on that Leo. Very important, okay? But at Libra, you're the balancing in there. And without balancing that you have in there, that when you see the spirituality, your spiritual emotions are in Pisces. What do you have in Pisces? How do we know this? right? How do we know this? Here, astrology is very beautiful. It's point out. This is a yacht or the finger of God, right? It's pointing to where? To the North Node, right? So here's the moon, 12 degrees. Here is the sun, 13 degrees, 3 minutes. And this is 12:58. So we're going to bump it up a few minutes, right? Just a few minutes. We're going to see how this energy actually is going to be point out that yacht, okay? And it all depends of what you built in the past, okay? What you built in the past, because right now the moon is at 13 degrees and the sun is at 13 degrees. Do you have anything else in at 13 degrees? Take a look. What planets you have in 13 degrees? This is going to be some very wild ride. All right. Next hour, this is going to be at 11 o'clock at night. The ascendant is going to be at Libra. Beautiful energies with Mercury, with Venus. Of course, when you finish your things, when you make your balance with yourself, you make your balance with your partner, you're about to have a great time. Because right now you know what you need to rebuild, how you need to put everything back in a proper basis, okay? But just because you know, you have to uncover more things that you did not know, and that will take some time. And that is going to be in the next 2 weeks, until the moon comes in and learn the rest of the half of the lessons that was learned of the last new moon. But right now, for those who actually understanding what happened today, they are going to be going and have a great time, great balance with themselves. All right, and please go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, because if you cannot fall asleep, you may going to have some challenges, because midnight energies is going to be wacky-tabaki, and a lot of people is going to have some. I didn't need the right action. I didn't did the right things. I didn't listen to the proper spiritual authority. I don't know who loves me, who doesn't not. I don't understand this love and values, and I don't know how to communicate. Whoa! Immaturity, facing our spiritual evolution push. Yeah, there's going to be some a lot with this. So please, go to bed earlier. If you can't fall asleep, you know why. All right, so that's what it was, the astrology report, and I'm going to be giving you February 2nd, 7 o'clock in the morning. What are we going to be facing off? Well, the ascendant is going to be at the end of Capricorn. Going to be finished some work. We are going to be finished material work, and we're going to start what? We're going to see in a few days how this spiritual work is going to be start coming in. The moon is at 18 degrees in there, that it's going to be start full oppositions with Venus, as I said in the report. All of a sudden, this energy of love and values, it's going to be coming in and triggers you. Because when you want others to bring you love and values, Leo, right? What do you do about the others? You ready to give, or are you just ready to only consume? Is everything for you, right? And hear how this lesson is going to be leading to a healing point. But for that more, we're going to talk more about it tomorrow. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the questions. Thank you for the clicks, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. And if you like to support the channel, you can always do that by going to the link of Buy Me a Coffee. All right, guys, much love. Good luck with that. And hope all is going to be for the best. Okay? Your personal example is going to be a guidelines for the people tomorrow. Much love.